What's going on, Acquire.Fi fam, friends, clients, and fellow DGens around the world? I'm here with Andrew, and we are sans Jan today. He is out and about venturing the world on his annual fishing trip. Good luck to him. Hope to catch some whoppers. But meanwhile, we're manning the helm, keeping things rolling here with your weekly dose. We're a little late on getting this out yesterday, so I decided to do it today instead. Yeah, good little pullback in the markets here. Good time for a little reset. Take a look at some charts. Lots going on the news front. But yeah, let's kick it off with charts as usual. I'll turn it over to you here, Andrew. What's going on with the markets today, man?
Yeah, so not much really is going on. I would just think more so we're just kind of getting our little correction here. We came up against resistance last week. We failed against it. Ethereum came up against its resistance level pretty much beginning of this week. And as you can see, we're just kind of failing against it right now, which is okay because again, we've come up quite far on both Ethereum and Bitcoin. So eventually there has to be a pause, right? At least a retest of that 13 EMA, just like how we had a retest of that 13 EMA coming in on Monday. And then we just kind of bounce right out. So my expectation really is just we're just going to range for a little bit. And then we're going to have to develop some kind of structure before we start our next leg out.
Are we going to see Bitcoin run ahead of ETH again like it did last time, or is ETH going to front run us?
Depends. I think if we kind of follow the ETH Bitcoin chart, they'll kind of tell us where things are kind of headed. But I think Ethereum still has a way higher, potential for upside. So I mean, I'm still very bullish on Ethereum, a bit more than Bitcoin itself. But overall, I am waiting to add on to both positions here, just waiting for that structure to finally come in first. Because right now we could be potentially putting in a double top, which is not what you want to see, right? If these starts printing out these double tops, then obviously the market is kind of cooked. We would probably have to wait till there's some kind of resolution, retest of lower levels of those 38.2s to reload zones, and then we can kind of consider possibly longing again. But for now, mostly just waiting and seeing how this market resolves. I think you can try to go in lower time frames, 4 hour, and you can see the W consolidation already starting to take place. So if we can start confirming and start breaking those necklines, then I could see us starting to get back closer to the top side of the range. But right now, we are just kind of retesting the bottom of the ranges right now, which is okay, which is, again, expected after such a long rally, yada, yada. Usually after these kind of resistance levels get hit, there's always a bit of a pullback and some resistance. So right now, it's probably good for the momentum signals to kind of reset as well. We were quite overbought for a bit there. So having that reset before the next leg up would make sense. No signs of bear divs just yet, so that's also still kind of good. So again, just waiting for that consolidation. And same thing with ETH, really. Just, we are quite overbought, so, market does need to pull back a bit. Maybe we do have to come down, retest that 13 EMA, which is still quite far away if you look here. And then, 38.2s are way down here. So really just seeing if, we really want to break, if we want to confirm that double top. It looks like there's a lot of liquidity left behind here. So the market does have to kind of come back and explore that. And then, maybe this EMA will come back up as we get to those levels. But until then, just waiting. And, once we start getting those Ws, I can reconsider being bullish again. So for now, just a little bit pause, cool your jet mode kind of while we let Bitcoin and Ethereum figure out its range and see if it's going to continue trending. Because, we are still in an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows kind of idea. So not overly worried here just yet, but I do sense that okay, things are getting a little bit sluggish. Maybe it is time to cool your jets a little bit, which is okay because again, we had such a strong rally. Markets come up quite a bit, and yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah, like Ethereum ran how hard if you want to go back to say, late June, it's been pretty much, I mean, it had a little bit of sideways, almost straight up since like late June. It went up almost 100%. So
Yeah,
a cool off period, it was up 84%. A cool off period, a little bit of a pullback, like that's perfectly normal and healthy to
yeah,
do, So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, people shouldn't be getting bearish. I'm sure there's some people on CT going, oh, that was it. That was our blow off top, blah, blah, blah. But like, fucking settle down. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it
it
can't
just
get
ran
spooked
up.
out of the market that fast, in my opinion. You could try to maybe hedge some of your longs if you don't want to close them by opening shorts, perhaps. But I'm not much of a leverage
Yeah.
trader here, so
Yeah. And
I'll just
last month we saw Bitcoin go up over 25% and Ethereum go up almost 90%. So like,
it's
chill.
crazy numbers. Those
Take a
are big
breather.
numbers. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, looking at alts too, like we had such a big run here. So does it make sense for things to kind of just cool down a bit? I think so. I think like a lot of people probably are trying to take profits here. So that's going to cause a bit of selling, some back and forth. But overall, everything looks still pretty healthy here. Even if I go on the weekly charts for most of these altcoins, like we are starting to get those weekly W's confirming. Usually, once you get those weekly W's, that kind of confirms like, hey, this is the bottom, bull market, yada yada. And then these are the names that you're probably going to want to look for, like the retrace of, right? You just go back on the daily, and then all you got to do is just draw your fib range from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, and then just look for your levels. Look for either your 38.2s or you look for your reload zones, and then you just kind of repeat the whole process again. So this is why it's not worth chasing, because the markets will eventually give you those pullbacks. And then especially in alts, like the pullbacks can be quite vicious. Like, you can see like 30% moves in a day kind of thing. So obviously not really like keen on the whole leverage side of things there. But I think we're gonna get an opportunity here soon, or as we're seeing, like these dips come in, and then we just you hunt the reload zones, look for those W's like we did previously, and then see what happens from there. I do believe we still have all the way till September, October before this market's really kind of done, in my opinion, based on the Jan barometer seasonality studies. So I think we still got a decent window here for another month of action. So
This is just a
waiting for
warm
the
up.
FedEx.
Yeah, so just a warm up pump, little preview of things to come.
Yeah, I mean, like I look at equities too, and like equities they just keep going higher and higher. I don't see it pausing anytime soon here. We're even starting to get W's in the Russell and Dow here. Looks like there's going to be another leg up, perhaps. I believe there's a lot of earnings coming out in the next week or two. So I think we'll probably see some shenanigans. But as long as these moving averages hold as support, like as each time it's like stepped in, then this uptrend is still intact. So if equities are still up, then I'm sure crypto will stay positive as well. So
Yeah, I mean, we've got also just about a week to go till the next FOMC meeting. So a lot could happen next. I think it's Thursday when that goes down. So we'll see. Could be a fireworks at the end of the month here.
yeah, definitely.
Saw a little bit of shakeup the last 24 hours. Rumors got circulated that JPOW resigned. Pretty quickly came out that was fake, but had people pretty excited for a minute.
Yeah, interesting, huh?
Yeah, I don't know how that would work if he resigns a week before the FOMC meeting. Do they delay that? Do they carry on without him? I don't know that they could replace him that fast. So
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
I'm not sure either. I've never seen that happen before, so it'd be a first time for me.
First time for all of us. Well,
Yeah.
a lot going on here. I gotta pull that down. A lot going on in the news side of things. Probably the biggest story to start with. I don't think it happened on Friday last week before we chatted, but Crypto market cap all-time high for the industry. We broke $4 trillion over the weekend, sitting down a little bit below that right now. You can see there 3.99 trillion. Still massively impressive. I'm sure we'll be right back up, making new all-time highs very, very quickly here. Back up over 4 trillion. And again, that's tiny compared to most of the rest of the capital markets. NVIDIA, a single company, has a market cap more than $4 trillion. So you're not late, still early. We got time. Things are going to happen. Start DCA and don't get complicated. And right on time with the new all-time high on market cap, we've got life with retail for the first time, probably this year. The first signs of retail life for the year. Google searches for buy Bitcoin hit the highest level since December. So yeah, after the Trump election leading into the inauguration, Bitcoin was pumping in, all kinds of FOMO going on. Got to retail to dip their toes in the water for a little bit, and then with the crash in January, that went away again. So good to see retail coming back to buy our bags. But no, that's a good sign. We're getting, good sign in some ways that we're getting towards some parabolic moves. Could be a sign though that, as you were saying, we are reaching towards the end of this cycle, or at least I don't know. What are your thoughts? I don't see how the 4-year cycle continues on as it has. I'm not saying we're not going to get a bear market, but to say that we're going to see this, 60 to 70% drop in the price of Bitcoin and, a bear market for a year and a half, it just doesn't make sense. With all the institutional adoption that we have, not only with, MicroStrategy and countries and stuff, but look with what's happening with the stable coins, with Ethereum. When the stable coins come online and all that transaction volume is on Ethereum, like that's going to set a floor price for Ethereum. Ethereum, it will be limited how far down it can go when you have trillions of dollars in stable coins transacting on Ethereum. So I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't see us having the same kind of, 2-year bear market, crypto winter, everything drops 90% for alts and 70% for Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's interesting because based on the 4-year cycle, we are at the end of the cycle now. So whatever we see in the next 6 months is kind of the end of the runway, and then typical bear market lasts about 18 months. I feel like it's gonna happen again. I don't think we're gonna see a 90% drop, but generally, what we normally see is around an 80% pullback, and it takes a year to 2 years. But I do feel like that is still in play. I don't see why that would change. I do understand that there's a lot more institutional buyers and whatnot to defend the floor and whatnot. But then what happens if prices do just start falling and these guys are going to have to call up their loans and blah, blah, blah? That could cause some kind of cascading liquidation. Who knows? There's a number of things that can happen, right? Black swan events or, you never know.
We get one every bear cycle. There's always some Luna or
something
FTX.
Exactly.
That happens.
Yeah, who knows? Binance might get hacked. God forbid. But something will happen. That's just the nature of the market and how the cycles kind of play out.
Yeah.
So I personally think the 4-year cycle is still intact. I do believe that we're closer to the end of the moves here than the beginning of some kind of bull market. We've been in a bull market for a while. Yeah. People don't realize you might have 4 or 5 months of a trough, but in that time we're still technically up, and now we're up even more. So I would like a nice big pullback, but
I mean, if we go back, even zoom in here. We gotta go farther than that. Oops, try that again. Pretty much January 23 we're bottomed. Yeah, bottomed in January 23 at 15K or whatever it was. I'm on market cap. That's why. There we go. Anyways, this chart is retarded. Where are we at here? May 21. Yeah, here we go. I mean, so pretty much since January 23, we were at $16,000. It's been up, up, up. Yeah, I mean, nothing was really exciting happening here, but I mean, this is as early January 24. I mean, it's been, you want to call that, most people wouldn't say going from 16,000 to 45,000 of bear market, you know? Bitcoin's 3x between January 23 and January 24 in a year. I don't know how you call that a bear market. Sure, alts were doing
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
but I think the big thing for people why they've been like, oh, it's a bear market, it's whatever, it's because alts haven't moved.
yeah,
Memes took all that liquidity,
yeah,
right? And so because people didn't get their alt runs, or it was real like niche down alt runs, we had the little AI boom, we had like the Bitcoin tech boom and stuff, but we didn't have like a big overall alt season until recently. So
yeah.
yeah, I think if more people were holding Bitcoin, they'd have a little different outlook on it.
Yeah, if you're a Bitcoin maxi, you did extremely well this cycle.
Yeah.
Alt's not so hot.
You're up
This
almost
cycle,
10x.
this was definitely the roughest cycle for altcoins, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even I struggled quite a bit this cycle, playing too heavily in the altcoins rather than just being in the majors. But hey, it's how you learn, and you can prepare for next cycle and whatnot. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, lessons in that, regardless of whether you bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, any of the top 20 coins, if you bought them during the bear market and just sat on your hands for the last 2 years, like you're up.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
up big, dog. You're up big. Even
yeah,
Bitcoin are up 10x. Like this grandpa, the slowest mover of them all, you're almost up 10x. So
yeah. Like
um,
Bitcoin seems to be like it's like almost like you can buy it at any price, and as long as you're able to hold it for like a 5-10 year window, like you're almost guaranteed to make money. I
yeah.
guess.
No,
Obviously, you want to get in cheaper than top lasting, but I feel like if you look in a 5-year horizon window, like you'll do well.
yeah. Absolutely. So make some gains here, but like we said last week, get ready. Don't walk away from the table. Get ready for the bear market coming up. That's when you're gonna have your best buys.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, Telegram officially finally launching its Bitcoin and crypto wallet ton in the U.S. That's massive. Obviously, U.S. being the largest market out there for
Hmm.
in terms of dollar amount. What do we call that? LTV for clients, how much they spend. So massive to be able to get to that market. Crypto essentially haven't been illegal for the last 8 years or so in the U.S. Starting to see that adoption coming back. Um,
Nice.
at the same time, starting to see some interesting stuff out there. Again, more and more top signals here. Willy Woo, very famous Bitcoin guy, very famous analyst, saying that he sold his Bitcoin this week, sold all of his Bitcoin. Now,
Oh,
whether or not that's true, um, for him even to say that, to even joke about that is wild. But from all I've seen, this has been confirmed, I guess. Willy Woo selling all his Bitcoin. I don't know why. He shared this post from Breadman saying, "I turned $100 into 2 million in 13 years. Enough's enough. Wants to get out and enjoy some money and stuff." I'm sure if he's been in Bitcoin that long, he's made a lot more than 2 million. But maybe Willy Woo just had enough of the crypto lifestyle, or needed to cash it in and ride off into the sunset. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people were looking at this cycle to kind of get out. So I'm not surprised to see this. I think a lot of people were hoping this was the cycle that retired them. Uh, and then so yeah, I mean, dude, if you're in mad profits, like why not? Like that was the whole point of crypto was to accelerate your assets, and then now you can go buy whatever you want. Something that's more lower risk, slower moving. Crypto is extremely volatile, very speculative. It's a very short term kind of game, I guess, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I mean, good for him if he actually sold and made a profit. I think we'll probably see a lot more stories like that. Because again, like most people I talked to wanted this to be their final cycle.
Yeah, guys that are the OGs like Willy Woo. I mean, he's been around since the early days. We're not talking 2-3 years, talking a decade that he's been in the space. That 100K number was a big number for a lot of guys. I'm
Mhm.
sure a lot of people took money off the table around 100K. Now that we're at 120, I'm sure people are taking more off.
Yeah.
Not to say that it's not going to go higher. I think all of us, think this is over the next decade going to continue to appreciate. But yeah, I get it, man. If you've been in the space a long time, I guess it's exhausting. If you got eight or nine figs sitting in the bank, I wouldn't take all of it and I wouldn't dump all my Bitcoin, but I would definitely take a serious payday. Totally understandable.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, you got to reward yourself. Like you put in the work, you got to pay yourself because it's very easy to get back to the market.
Yeah. We're starting to see a shift here. I'm trying to find the story. Yeah, here we go. This is, if you look at wealth management at a high level for any asset, rich fiat people, etc., they're not selling their assets. The whole goal in life is to accumulate assets, real estate, gold, stocks, bonds, portfolio, whatever, and debt leverage that so that you don't have to sell your assets and you can have the constant cash flow to do what you want for a number of reasons. Obviously, your assets continue to grow because you're not selling them. Debt is the only thing that's tax-free in the world here. But very soon, we're going to be able to do that with our crypto as well. You're not going to have to sell your Bitcoin. You're not going to have to sell all of your Bitcoin. You'll be able to leverage that. Go to JP Morgan, go to your local bank, and take out business loans against it. Whether that's, get a home loan, whether that's a business loan, whether you're using that to invest in real estate, but you're not going to have to liquidate your actual Bitcoin or your actual crypto assets. Again, that's the playbook that the wealthy around the world have been using for eons. And that playbook's getting opened up to us degens here in the very near future.
Nice. No, that's cool, man. That'd be sweet to be able to leverage my my cryptos that way.
Yeah, that's the playbook. If you ask any wealthy person, anybody telling you how to build money, you're not selling your assets. You're accumulating assets, rolling those into larger assets, and debt leveraging. Debt financing is how all the world's rich operate. They're not living paycheck to paycheck selling stuff. It's about accumulating them assets, and Bitcoin is becoming the premier asset in the world.
Yes, sir. Max leverage. Let's go.
This is a great one here. Peter Schiff, as always, a relentless fucking Bitcoin troll. Benjamin Cohen with a great one. Imagine thinking you're flexing while gold is down so much against Bitcoin that TradingView just rounds it to minus 100%.
Correct.
Gold bugs down bad. Obviously, gold still got its place, but coming out and having just hated on Bitcoin for over a decade now, any of your followers, like, how can your followers take you seriously anymore? Like, at least come out and be like, hey, hold both, buy both. Bitcoin's going to appreciate a lot faster. Gold still you have for your stability or whatever the hell you're using your gold for. But to come out and just relentlessly trash Bitcoin year after year after year while the chart looks like this, while your chart is just bleeding to negative 100%. It's just financially irresponsible. If anybody still follows this guy for anything other than the laughs, like, come on, what are you doing?
It's like why people follow Jim Cramer. It's like you can be wrong so many times, but the public will just keep eating your shit.
I guess. Good old inverse Cramer.
Yeah.
Old Janet Yellen back in the news again. Janet Yellen, famous for her terrible economic predictions, saying that it's a financial risk. She's talking about obviously Bitcoin and crypto, saying it's a financial risk to central banks. Yeah, that's the fucking point. She's part of the boomer, old school, elite political regime. Obviously, she's not a fan of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because it's dethroning them. It's taking their power away, giving it back to the people. So, par for the course here. Nothing out of the ordinary. I just think it's hilarious when these ancient octogenarians come out and get drug up on stage to spout about how this is going to be the end of the status quo, when if you ask them to explain what an immutable ledger is, or how does Bitcoin work, or even how does their own fiat system work, most of them are.
Let me check the balance sheet real quick. What's going on
here? Yeah, you're gonna hear things like inflation is transitory.
It's crazy because we've been ruled by the central banks for centuries. Does this mean the end of the central banks? I don't know. I think they'll just find a way, like a workaround to still be in control, because they can just make their own freaking stable coins and whatnot. Like
That's the concern. That's the concern. That's why that the anti-CBDC law they passed recently is so important. Obviously, Europe's not got that. Europe is going the way of the government surveillance token. But they'll learn how bad that is pretty quickly, and the change will come in the long run. I'm bullish on this technology for the win in the long run. I think even if governments are trying to co-opt it and they're the main on-ramp in places like Europe at the beginning. That's the power of DeFi. It's why this was created. Like once that tech gets out of the box, once people understand, how they can use DeFi and get around the censorship, it's over. Then the government's just on board their own demise. More power to you. Help us onboard all the normies so that we can evangelize them into the power of DeFi.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, Adam Bax. We just talked about this last week. Just hit the news last week that Adam Back and was coming on with BSTR, their company, to start buying Bitcoin. They're now number 4. They've been around for like 2 weeks, and they have number 4, the largest holding.
That's crazy.
Coming in with 30,000. I think they're getting ready to buy more. But yeah, straight out the gate, pulling no punches. Obviously, long ways to go to catch up with MicroStrategy at over 600,000 Bitcoin now, which is just insane. But if rumors are true, like we talked about last week, that the U.S. sold 80% of their Bitcoin, BSTR now holds more Bitcoin than the United States. So we will see what's going on there. And this was a few days ago. Yeah, this was yesterday that this story came out. But I know just in the last 24 hours, Trump media has said that they are buying another couple billion. So I don't know if that's factored in here or not. But the arms race for the public sector for Bitcoin is in full swing. Just waiting for the countries to start buying. Well, publicly buying. I mean, we know China's buying. We know Russia's buying. We know
everyone is buying secretly. I don't know if they're good enough.
Your homies South Korea buying right now. They unveiling plans to accelerate their Bitcoin and crypto legislation after the Genius Act passed in America. This looks like South Korea is going to be opening up the doors for South Korea, very famously pro crypto, but also very like closed doors in terms of like how you can buy, what they buy, who they allow to buy. They kind of have their own market within South Korea there.
Yeah, it's weird because they're like kind of gated, but there's so much buying pressure in Korea. Like anytime you get like an Upbit listing or a Bithumb listing, like the fucking thing just like skyrockets.
Yeah,
like every time.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is going to open the door to getting some exposure to the broader crypto markets for Korean investors, which could be good for everybody.
Yeah, look out for the kimchi premiums. That's how you'll know the market's done.
Yeah. Speaking of South Korea, we'll actually be out there in a little bit about 2 months' time. They've got the Korean Blockchain Week out there, one of the best conferences in the world. Both Andrew and myself will be out there for that. So if you want to catch up, if you want to talk some shop, if you want to kick back or throw back a few drinks, let us know. We'll be around.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be brutal though. This year you got all these conferences, they're like a week or 3 days, but there's so much that goes on for like up to a week before and after. They almost kind of turn into a 10-day, 2-week extravaganza. We'll probably be there for 5 days to a week. But this year, the Korean Blockchain Week, there's normally a gap of a week or two before token starts. This year they're back to back. So it's gonna be brutal. A brutal 2+ weeks going from event to event, but should be good networking, great business opportunities, but it's a long slog. Those conferences are a lot of fun, but man, they are tiring.
Yeah, dude.
a lot of late nights, early mornings, a lot of bullshit flying around, a lot of drinks going, a lot of good food. I'm looking forward to that at KBW, man. The food at KBW is the best.
Yeah, can't go wrong with Korean food, honestly. Like last year, I was eating like fried chicken every day. There's so much Korean chicken everywhere.
So good, man. I'm bullish on KBW. Very bullish on KBW.
Same.
Oh man. Yeah, I kind of doubled up on the story here, but yeah, significant risk. Of course, there's
Hmm.
significant risks.
While they buy it up.
Yeah, while they're buying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coinbase partners with PNC, seventh largest bank in the US, letting 9 million customers buy, sell, and hold crypto directly in their accounts. We've seen stories like this just nonstop for the last 6 months. They ain't going to stop anytime soon. This is what kind of I hate, because we see it every single cycle. This time it's going to be different. Super cycle, blah, blah, blah. Like, we hear it every single cycle. But like this time, there actually is real significant differences between this cycle and last cycle. We saw it even with great example, Bitcoin for the first time ever hitting a new all-time high before the halving. Like that's never happened before. So like there is things like that on like a technical analysis perspective, but just looking at it from a perspective of like the institutional adoption, we've never had that before. Like literally have
Not
people
at
can
this level. Like this is crazy. Like,
yeah, you
like
can go
every
hold.
day.
Yeah, you can go to your bank and buy crypto and hold crypto in your bank account. You have
You buy a house. You can get a
yeah,
mortgage using crypto now. That's crazy.
yeah, and your mortgage. You can get business loans. You have every major fund from BlackRock to Fidelity aping into Bitcoin. You have Ethereum inflows 100xing the distributions like on a daily basis. But it's just wild, man. We've seen crypto regulations getting passed. Business opening back up in the U.S. for crypto. Nonstop bullish adoption. I mean, it makes me believe, makes me want to believe, Andrew. It makes me want to believe and hope that we're going to get a super cycle that, towards the November, we see a little dip and then we just rally back up through the end of the year. We blaze on into 2026 and rate cuts are happening and the money printer is going burr and we just start just bankrolling for another 2 years. Who knows?
I would hope so. Like, like I think we're already in the super cycle, but I think there's like the final like blow off. And then that's where like you're gonna make most of the money is in that last 10% final blow off. 2026, like we might see the market still rally continue into 2026. There's a cycle study that I follow called the Benner cycle study. And it pretty much like shows you a lot of different like scenarios of where things can top, where things are good, where things are bad. 2026 is actually like the top. It's like this is the year that you want to like sell, take profits because everything's in mad euphoria. Like this is like good times to cash out. So for me, like 2026, I actually really wanted to pretty much be out of the market sometime by like spring, I would imagine, of 2026, and just kind of like chill. Because I do believe like the Benner cycle, it helped me find the bottom of the market in 2023. And I do believe that it's going to be the same thing 2026. A lot of the euphoria, markets are up, like just straight up. You look at everything, right? Like there's going to be a time to stop. And I think 2026 next year is the year. Probably like again that springtime, just because you get the end of year, Christmas, New Year euphoria, markets kind of do its thing, and then it just kind of dumps coming into spring. So maybe that's kind of like the window that I'm looking for right now. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we get one more big freaking blast off and we can hit like 200K Bitcoin or whatever, get a few more X's on these alts. But yeah, 2026 is kind of the end year for me.
No, I definitely can see this rolling through into Q1 2026. I think it's very realistic. Bitcoin could definitely go over 200. I think we'll see over 200K Bitcoin this cycle. That's where when you start seeing cartoon rocks sell for 4 million, be ready to liquidate.
Oh God, when you see that, fucking cash out.
Run to the hills.
Like, dude, that's crazy. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, again, more on the adoption side, all those lawsuits. We've seen SEC going after people, FBI going after people, the DOJ. We've seen that the Fed going after people. All of those lawsuits are getting dropped left and right. FBI dropping investigation into Kraken was just announced here yesterday. So again, more just bullish and bullish stuff. This is opening up more doors for more business to be done. IPOs, we're seeing more and more IPOs. I think the Circle IPO, people made absolute bank on that. Kraken IPO is coming up. That's super hot. I think Polymarket is rumored to be doing an IPO soon. BitGo is rumored to be doing an IPO soon. Gemini has already announced they're doing an IPO soon. So these are going to continue. Yeah. I published an article on LinkedIn the other day just about how this is shifting the capital markets within crypto and what the opportunities are. But just again, that's more money coming into this industry, allows for more innovation, and harder pumps and if you're here for the tech, that's what we want to see as well. Like this is going more and more mainstream. We've talked about retail adoption. Well, I think this is the cycle that's like the final cycle before retail adoption, because we're putting in the legal frameworks, we're putting in the institutional frameworks, we're building out the onboarding ramps and the tech. So I think I think this is the institutional side of mass adoption, and then through the bear market, we'll finish up building out some nice tooling, and then next cycle will be where we see that retail start to get on board in mass.
That'd be nice. That'd be very cool to see.
Well, it'd be nice if we have some UX and UI that's actually usable.
Yeah. It would be good. That's cool though. I didn't know like Kraken was being investigated by FBI, or at least the founder there. I'm a big fan of Kraken. I actually use them quite frequently. It's been the solid exchange for me.
Yeah, it's been pretty solid. Not a huge fan of their UX UI, but I mean,
it is pretty shit. I will agree. But other than that, it's been pretty decent. Like I use it for a lot for like my off ramp, on ramp stuff.
Same. Yeah, absolutely. Genius Act, MasterCard of all the, between Visa, MasterCard, American Express, kind of the three main, payment rails out there for the credit card system in the West. The MasterCard has been the most bullish, most crypto forward of any of them. And, doing all kinds of deals with Chainlink and everybody else. They're out here last week celebrating the passing of the Genius Act, new era of clarity. They're making posts about stable coins enabling faster, lower cross-border payments, etc. This is, again, massive institutional adoption that we're seeing right now. This is the institutional mass onboarding happening right before our eyes here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, man, I don't know what else we got here in terms of stories. That's kind of a non-story, but yeah, I mean, overall, good week, good last week here in crypto. Lots going on, hitting all-time high market cap for total crypto assets. More regulation headed in the right direction, or deregulation in many cases. Lawsuits going in the right direction. More money coming in. ETF inflows keep hammering away. So yeah, enjoy this little retest. If you missed a lot of the last pump, get ready to start DCAing in and get positions for the next run up, the next leg of this bull market here.
Yes, sir. Enjoy it. Enjoy while it lasts. Jan Barometer says up until September, October. So still like a month and a half away.
Let's go.
Yeah. Enjoy whatever's left.
Absolutely. And we will be back on Friday again with some more market updates, some more charts, see how this reset's going, if it's going to be a short one, a couple days, or if we're going to get another couple weeks here of the sideways. We'll check back with you on Friday. See ya.
That's good. Catch you guys later.